Hi there, thanks for watching the Drawing for Adults video today, brought to you by the Ann Arbor District Library and the Ann Arbor Art Center. Get ready with your colored pencils. We are going to be drawing realistic gift bows, I guess, today. So this one is a much more detailed, intense project. This took me a long time to draw, even though I was trying to do it as quickly as possible. So our first step is going to be to sketch out the different shapes that you see. So you can look at just a photo reference found off of Google. Just try to find one that's not super photoshopped looking and instead looks more realistic, like something that you would just take if you had a gift bow right in front of you. Now, that said, if you have a gift bow right in front of you, please use the gift bow right in front of you. Don't take a photo. Drawings are pretty much almost always better if drawn from life, where you have more realistic highlights and shadows and reflections, and it's just a little bit more natural looking. So I'd really encourage you to draw from life if you happen to have a gift bow nearby. You could always like take a photo of it just, you know, later if you can't have the gift bow sitting there on your table for weeks, if this takes you weeks to do. So you can always just take a photo later and then refer back to it. But I do want to emphasize the importance of really getting this sketch accurate, because later when you're coming back in with your colored pencils, you don't want to, you know, realize that this your initial sketch of the placement of all these different little shapes, of these little triangular trapezoid kind of shapes are not in the right spot. And so then you have to go back and try to change things, and you're just going back and forth between erasing with regular pencil and then you've got colored pencils. So anytime you do a still life of any kind, I always think it's important to really get that initial sketch down as accurate as you possibly can, and draw lightly with your pencil, so that if you do, or I should say when you do have to make a change and you need to erase, you can do so pretty easily. So I'm going to go ahead and move on now to my colored pencils, and one of the things you're going to see here is this like little red, little orange spot there, and that is because in the photo, I am actually using a photo here that I was using for a reference. This was like a big pile of gift bows, and so there was like some other colored gift bows nearby. So what we're seeing here is actually those gift bows reflected in the shiny image of the purple gift bow that I am using. So we're gonna really go slow with this. If you've already sketched out your bow at this point, you're like, how can we get any slower than this, honestly? Because that just took forever to sketch. I know, I hear you, I'm right there with you, but enjoy the process. Let yourself slow down to do this. It can be detailed and meticulous, I understand that, but can also be really relaxing and fun. So I encourage you to embrace the speed or lack thereof, and just really enjoy that process of trying to draw something as realistic as possible. And with this, one of the things that I find when drawing like this, it's actually not that much about drawing and being really good at drawing realistically. It's actually about seeing. Drawing is so much about seeing and really looking, and not just coloring this all purple because, well, it's a purple bow, but instead being like, oh, there's actually some red, there's some orange, there are a lot of white, weird little stripy shapes that I'm seeing. Yeah, there are, and it's gonna look weird at the beginning. Like right now I'm looking at this like, oh shoot, I'm making a video, or I'm supposed to turn this into a video, and I hope it turns into something that looks a little bit better than what this currently looks like. But you already had a little sneak peek there at the very beginning of the video that it actually did turn out pretty decently, and this was a relatively quick drawing. And when I say that, I mean, I don't know, maybe a few hours. So it might take you a little bit longer. Of course, it depends on how big your paper is and all of that. But anyway, going back to what I was saying, I just want to reiterate, go slow, okay? Look for the shapes when you're doing anything that has a lot of reflections and highlights and all of that, it can just be tricky because it feels hard. And I really do recognize that. But I will say, I think that sometimes that feeling of it being hard is the hardest part. And once you're able to get past that and just draw what you see, and not what you think you see, but what's actually there, I think you're gonna really make some progress. So look at the stripes, look at the different colors, look at the values, really practice layering with those colored pencils. And once you feel good about the colors that you have down, go ahead and press down hard. I want you to practice that burnishing technique of when you press down so hard that it almost looks shiny, or it looks like paint or something just totally different. So I hope that you'll give that a try. And when you're picking that initial photo, or you're looking at, you know, the actual gift bow, don't get discouraged by the sections that are really crazy or that have a lot of white space. I feel like I'm even tempting myself, as I'm blending my colored pencil here, to cover up some of those like really bright white highlights with like a really light pale purple. And I feel like all I'm doing is messing myself up by not giving my each of those little sections the brightness, that light that I should be having. So just do consider that. And then lastly, I'm going to come in now with a darker purple to get that space in between, and then I'm lightening up some areas as well. So have fun creating a gift bow today that's really shiny. Again, blend those colored pencils. Be really careful about drawing what is actually there, what you see, and not what you think that you see.